APP GIS Hub can be accessed through the gpp.ippc.int website. You can also type ippc.int into your browser, scroll down to the African Phytosanitary Program page, and look for the link to the hub there. The APP GIS Hub contains everything you need to work with and interpret the data collected in the field, as well as training and support. By clicking the orange button at the top left of the page, you can change the main language. And as we scroll down, there are links to the country pages, which hold experience sites that we will go over next. There is a training section at the bottom, as well as some additional links that not every user may have access to. For support on the APP GIS Hub or data collection, use the support link found at the bottom of the page. Now that we have navigated through and explored the contents of the landing page, let's dive in how to review data that has been collected in the field and organized into what we were calling experience sites. So as you can see, we're on the homepage of the APP GIS Hub and have scrolled to the section titled Explore Data by Country. By clicking on my country's name, I will be taken to a page with links to every experience site for my country. To enter an experience site, click the underlined name of the site that you would like to explore further. You'll be taken to a login page where you will enter your username and password. Security is of the utmost importance, and as members of the APP GIS Hub, you will only have access to your country's data. For the purposes of this training video, we have entered some test data and are displaying a Bactricera experience site that is not specific to a country and is an example for demonstration purposes. Now that we have logged in, let's review what a web experience site can do. Upon opening the site, you can see that two tabs are present, Monitor and Interact. Monitor is configured as a dashboard, a quick way to visualize survey data at a glance. With an easy-to-use interface and filters, and the Interact tab has filters and similar features to the Monitor tab, but it also contains data export tools, map printing, and data editing capabilities. Let's dive deeper into each tab and start with the Monitor tab. On the left-hand side of the screen, we have a few filters that can be customized by the user. Let's start with the Filter by Survey Date. Upon clicking Filter by Survey Date, you will see that you can choose either a range of dates or a singular date. The dashboard will filter in response to your selection. Here I am selecting to only view surveys done on September 19th. The dashboard has filtered and you can see 6 surveys were done on that date. Pressing Reset will get you the entirety of the dataset. Selecting a filter by activity will show you only the surveys done with that particular activity that you select. By clicking Monitor, I can see that 4 surveys have been monitoring activities, and selecting the filter again and selecting all activities shown will bring me back to the default view. Similarly, selecting Filter by Site Type and making a selection there will only show you that particular site type. Selecting Agricultural, I can see that there has been 1 survey. I can press Reset or click Agricultural again to bring it back to the default view. The bottom of the page has a surveys conducted over time chart. You can select a date from there, and you can have the Monitor page filter based on your selection. On the right side, we have specimen status displayed as a pie chart. The pie chart is selectable, so when you click a slice, the dashboard will filter. Selecting the slice again will get you back to the default view. The map pane has additional tools that you may want to make use of. There's the search button, the home button, layer list, legend, and base map. By selecting the search tool, I can search for a specific place and have my map zoom too. So here I'm typing Kampala, Uganda, and as you see, the map will zoom to that location and the dashboard will filter based on the points that might be in that area. In this case, there's none, so I'm going to press Home, and that's going to get us back to our default view. The Home button can be pressed at any time, so you can see the entirety of the dataset. Next to Home is the legend. Currently, we only have 1 layer. but if there were additional layers in the future, this is where you would see them. You can turn those layers on and off in the layer list using the eye icon. Next to layers is the base map button. There are many base maps that you can choose from to customize your view. As I scroll down here, you can see all of the options available to us. And here I'm selecting the imagery hybrid, which will give me geographic boundaries, roads, and an aerial image. I'm going to zoom into one spot in Egypt here. And if I directly click on a point, I'm going to get a pop-up detailing all the data that was collected in the field for that site. And when I clicked the point, 2 points were actually right on top of each other. I can scroll through the 2 points using the little arrows in the top left of the pop-up. Scrolling down, I can get some more additional details at a quick glance of both sites. Now that we have explored the Monitor tab, let's dive into the Interact tab. Similar to the Monitor tab, we have some easy-to-access tool buttons, such as Search, Layers, Legend, Base Map, Default Extent, Zoom In, Zoom Out, Select, and Measure. Let's look at the Measure tool. So I'm just going to select it here to open the dialog, and then I can click on the map and click again to measure the distance between 2 points. You can also change the unit of measurement. Using the Measure tool, we can also measure an area. So here I am doing that around this preserve to get a quick kilometer squared. By pressing Home, I will be taken back to the default extent. Now onto the Filter widget. I am going to activate it by selecting this blue toggle at the top. Now I can filter by any field. So here let's just filter by a site name. And here the map has reflected my selection. Now onto the Edit tool. When I select Edit, I just have to press this Select button here, and then I go in the map and select any point that I'd like to edit. So now that you have a clear idea the point you want to edit, here on the screen I can see all of the editable fields that I am able to modify. So let's just say I mistyped my specimen count and it needs to be 5. So I just make that change here and then I press Update at the bottom. You can also delete features here by pressing the Delete button and confirming your deletion. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and re-click that point we just edited. And as we scroll down, we're going to see that that specimen count has changed from 4 to 5. When you hear back from the lab on if your specimen was positive or negative, you can change that in the specimen status field. The default value there is going to be presumptive positive until you modify it. Now let's go ahead and demo the Table tool. As we go over the Table tool, we'll go over the Select tool as well. The Table tool allows you to interact with the data in a tabular format. So we can explore the data at a quick glance this way and even export the contents. Using the Select tool will allow me to drag a box around a point and then have that selection reflected in the map in the form of a highlighted row. And if you would like to isolate any selection you make, you can press the first button here called Show Selection. Data entered in the field can also be modified within the Table tool. So double-click a cell that you would like to modify and press Enter, or outside of the cell to apply the edits. To view all entries once more and unselect the isolated row, click on the second button called Clear Selection. The center button here is called Refresh, and use this to reload all data in the main view. Next to that is Show and Hide Columns, so you can customize your view this way as well. The button on the far right is called Actions and has a few data interaction options available. Here I made a selection on the data set, so you can see we have some additional options available if a selection is made. So here we've got our options to us, and let's demo an export. I'm going to select export to CSV. A pop-up comes up to save my file, so I can name it and download the file to my browser. Let's open that downloaded data set, and the CSV has opened in my Excel application. Back to the tool, the last one we're going to demo is the print tool. Before we do our print, I'm zooming to the area that I want to have in my map. Opening the print tool, making the dialog a bit bigger. The template of A3 landscape is good. And here I'm just going to rename my map. And I'll name that here. Expanding the advanced settings. Current extent is good, so that's going to be all the map on my screen here. And I can add in my name as the author. I can include a legend and a north arrow. And I can change the scale bar. Verifying print boundary. I'm going to go ahead and press print. The map has popped up in my tab. It's got a legend, a scale bar, a north arrow, and we've got our title at the top. I'm going to right-click on the map itself and save it and send it out or keep it in my files.